Hey everyone, welcome to another segment of Vital Statistics. I'm Shemetris Vital, and you guessed it, there's no time like the present time. The present time finds us still in chapter 35, and today is, in fact, day number 40. Amazingly enough, don't worry, don't have to go back and look for other blogs because I have not posted any since, I believe, on day 6 of chapter 35. So today's day 40, and we have been frozen in here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. This makes the second day, and of course some people are out and most people are in. But I kind of wanted to just bring you a word of thought because today is Saturday for me, and I got up this morning at a nice time on a Saturday morning searching for a word. I immediately, when I got up, I thanked God for the new day and just the fact that today I had heat, and so I didn't have to sleep in the cold last night. And so that made me very thankful. And just like most people, I got up and, started going about my day. I didn't turn on the TV or anything like that, but I did what I normally do, and that's begin searching for just a word. Sometimes I go to my Bible or devotion or whatever, that kind of thing, but I went to the blogs and things that I normally read, and to find out that one of my favorite people, all the way from Lagos, Nigeria, Audrey, Joey Zebo, had finally posted a post on her blog, Uniquely Woman, and that kind of just inspired me because I've been looking for her to write something. And then, of course, after I proceeded from her page, I went over to my other sister's page, Bidemy, who does a Nevertheless blog, and I got my word today. Then I had to go one more place just to kind of see what else was going on, and that was the One Woman Movement blog post, just to see what had been posted on that page. And I found that one of the sisters there had posted a movie called The Encounter, which was on the YouTube. And so I decided I would go ahead and watch that after I had read the blogs, of course. And I found myself sitting down watching this movie, which is basically about a last chance or second chance, just to accept Christ and things like that. So as that movie moved me and I got inspired and things, I found myself, I said, I've got to get up. I said, I have been in such a funk and such a place of depression, I will say. Remember, I told you guys I'd be honest, but it has been rough on this journey of 35. And I think the last time we spoke, I had said that, the plane had just taken we stopped. We hadn't taken off yet, and there had to be some checks on maintenance and things like that. And I showed you the pictures because I had gone to a airport hangar, or whatever you want to call it, and so that prompted me at that point. Well, since then, this journey feels like it really has come to a complete halt, knowing that in fact that I am so ready to get moving to the next place. And of course that's just purpose, that I know that it's in me and I'm ready to move. And I bet that means that a lot of you guys are ready to move. So after watching The Encounter and things, I found myself, I said, okay, I've got to keep pushing. I pushed myself. I said, I'm going to get up and I want to go down just to the convenience store. And I said, if I can't drive down there, I will walk. So I realized that I'm not going to get out of the driveway because there's ice all behind my car. So I decided that I'm going to walk. So I go and put on my ski suit and everything. And as I proceed out of my neighborhood to walk, there's just ice everywhere. I get across to this field and I'm in the middle of the field and I hear this small voice say, "You really want this cup of cocoa or whatever it is that you want from the convenience store?" And I was just like, yeah, because I felt like just getting out was just my push. I had to get out of the house, and I was like, I'll come back home and clean up and pray the spirit of depression or whatever it is that the enemy thinks that he can keep me suppressed in my own home. So I keep trying to get to the store. I get to the end of the block and it's nothing but ice. Can't even walk down the street. So I stop there and I stand for like 15 minutes and I'm just looking, no thoughts in my mind, no words to say, and my attention is drawn as I'm watching all the cars to the freeway, because from this area I can see the freeway, and I see cars very slowly moving across these bridges. I mean, these are bridges, so you know how high bridges are, and they're moving very slowly. And so finally I hear the small voice that I have been looking for. It says that, I'm going to make you stop one way or the other. Some people choose to listen and some people don't. But you have a choice whether you will just wait it out or will you try and do it at your own risk. And so I was like, well, I'm just going to wait then. So at that point, it's like, okay, I have a choice. I decided that I might as well go back home because I'm not going to make it to the store even though I was trying to walk. So I go into the apartment complex and sit down and have a cup of coffee there. And I sit out on the patio and just start thinking and all these kinds of things. And, after I finish that, it's time to go home. Well, it was just long enough for the guy that was sitting inside the apartment complex working on his computer, long enough for when I left that he decided to pack up his stuff. Well, this is the funny part. I'm starting to walk home, and I really haven't made it far from the office, and he stops. He says, "Hey, would you like a ride?" We began talking. I said, "No, I'm fine." We began talking, and I start sharing my little story with him about, that God's going to find one way or another just to make you wait, and you're going to have to stop, or you can take it at your own risk. And then when I realized, and I said, "No, I'm going to wait," and he said, "Well, you sure?" After we talked for so long, I said, "Yeah, I'll walk." And I said, "Oh my God, you're a part of the test." And he said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Because even though we're going to the same place, I have to finish this journey out on my own." And he says, "Well, I'm not going to mess with what God is doing." So I realized that even on the journey, God is going to, that people will pass your way and offer to lend you a hand. But because this journey is a journey that you alone have to take, you can't take any easy roads. You can't take shortcuts. So I said I was going to finish the journey out on my own because I had started on my own. And finally I've gotten home and I decided to sit down and write, and the Lord told me that I should post a blog. So here's my blog for today. And the question is, who's waiting on you and why haven't you stood up? Because I was sitting out here looking for a word from my ladies and friends or sisters in Lagos, because I'm always excited to see what they have to say and what God has said to them. But the Lord says, well, who's waiting on you and why haven't you said anything? So I bet that whoever else is watching this, that now that I have said what I was supposed to say, that maybe you'll do the same thing, because someone out there is waiting for the word that you have in your spirit. And I can hear one of my good friends, Monica, say, who is from the onewordmovement.com, that she's always telling me there are people waiting on you. So I'm making a declaration that since today is chapter 35 and day 40, it is time for me to get out of the wilderness. And I said I was going to be upfront and honest with you. So I'm going to make my way out of the wilderness, because I, in fact, know that there are people waiting on me. And if I don't move, they won't be able to move. So this is another segment of Vital Statistics. I'm Shemetris Vital. And you know what I always say, be the difference, make the difference. Because the difference is ultimately in the change you choose to make. And perhaps right now, you just have to wait. So I will talk to you soon, and we'll see what God has to say. Take care, and God bless.